What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be looking at the market and the interesting moves we're getting. As you can see now, we had a quick run up today. I posted in the Discord yesterday about some coin that I was looking at and a potential short. However, I had warned that the coin might have a run up. Why is that? Because the dollar index was very extended to the upside and I was expecting a slight, if not even a big pullback from the dollar. The dollar is actually breaking levels of resistance. It is slightly pulling back, which is causing that movement in the market. But we are above a level of significant resistance on the dollar. The 105 has been here on the chart, 105.005. And if we are able to hold a 4-hourly candle on this level today, there is a big chance that the dollar will rip to 106 within the next week or so. I have the next level is at 106.358. Then we have other levels to the upside. Up till the 115, I believe, or the 120 my levels are at. But at the moment, before I start, I continue. Hit the likes, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and yeah. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the channel description. You can see it over there. And welcome to the stream if it's your first time. The dollar index. Okay, the dollar index is ripping up. You have NASDAQ also. Well, the NASDAQ had a pull down, but it's holding fairly well. This is on the 4-hourly. This is not good. Though it didn't break down totally, we had a almost an instant recovery. But the next level, I'm gonna get into crypto, don't worry, just bear with me, because these are the main market movers, and whatever they do, a lot of times Bitcoin will follow. Next level for the NASDAQ, just be aware, 15,346 is this trend line that goes back to these touches over here. Let me show you how far this trend line goes. This trend line started here, 2022 October, and as long as we are above it, we're fine for the Nasdaq. But once we break down and back test it bearishly, as we are now, we broke down. We didn't get a back test, but we have the 50 EMA cloud coming in there. So just be aware, the Nasdaq has dropped. We could get a push up in the Nasdaq for rejection to pull down. If you go on a smaller time frame, let me lower the music of this music. Let me lower the volume. Now, on the hourly, as you can see, that green line looks different on the hourly. Obviously, as time frames move, you'll see them differently. We are below here. Because that green line was plotted on the daily or the 4-hourly. We are down here. If we come up, that point on the 1-hour chart is at the 50 EMA cloud, which is coming down, and the 200 EMA, which is coming this way. And that's what you guys call a bear cross. I don't trade these, but I'm just letting you be aware. So it's not all looking good. I was saying we may get a bounce, but a bounce isn't like to go to the moon. I don't think so. Now, Ethereum hasn't made the big move yet. It made a small move. We had a move down, a move up. It's a bit of chop. But nevertheless, we had some movement. We are the 200 on Ethereum. And next level to watch for, in my opinion, is a 1666. You see, yesterday we wicked. I believe this was yesterday, or was it earlier today? It was yesterday. We wicked all the way up here. 1680. As long as we're below the 1666, targets to the downside are between the 50. This low, last week's low is 1600, 1574. Once you start breaking 1574, there's a big chance you're coming down. It's insufficiency. I've always said for Ethereum, we could come all the way down to the 1200 or 1192. And be right here, still be bullish. 1213 is our POC at the moment, as we have broken below the value area high of this fixed range volume profile. Disregard the upper one. The fixed range profile, the value area high was over here, around 1790, and we broke it. However, this movement, this quick move we had down, I'm expecting a recovery. We could have a recovery, a run-up, either to recover this 1688, which we did recover most of it, to be fair, and we came down. The next move we will have, if we have it, could take us all the way up to this level. Why? Because we have liquidity here, 1785 and 1795. I don't see us going any higher than that. If we start violating the 1666, then, and closing above it, then that's telling us that maybe the down move is over. Otherwise, I do believe we have at least one more low. At least one more low. Now the Nasdaq has been treacherous today. I tried shorting it, but now it's pulling up. I'm kind of in the red at the moment, which isn't a good thing. I might cut the trade short, but I am short on Bitcoin and the S&P. Now I'm going to go back into Bitcoin on this chart. This is a Coinbase chart, the Bitstamp chart, sorry, and we're going to just turn off the indicators and look at Bitcoin and try and see what is the next movement. I don't usually like this pattern this way. It's very treacherous because you're not sure, are we gonna recover as we do hundreds and hundreds of times, recover this way, as we did here. We went up and recovered downwards, we came down, we recovered upwards. Are we gonna recover that, or is this just gonna do this? Because we've done this before. You stay here, you range, you range, you range, you range, then you have a blow, a spike up and a drop. You did something similar here in the micro, sorry. You did this, range, spiked up, recover, range, spike up, and a dump. You do it a lot on Bitcoin. It's not the first time, it's not going to be the last time. Now you just have to have your invalidation levels. You need to know if Bitcoin gets to a certain level, where do you say the trend is changing? I like to do something. I like to pull Fibonacci levels and go from this, and I say, okay, this move down was impulsive. If I am able to break above this, as in to break above the 27,070, then that's telling me that things are changing to the upside probably. We are getting a pullback on Bitcoin. This is on the hourly. On the 15-minute, do we have any candles that would tell us a story that we are changing? We are back in our psychological levels, try to break out, we're pulling back, but this may fizzle here for a while because it was a range that essentially was built in the beginning of the week, and we have been around it, deviating, coming back in. Let's go to the daily. You'll see about 6 candles in there. So we've been in this range. Let it load up, load up, load up. Okay, it's taking too long. Let's go back. Okay, there you go. It doesn't show on the daily. On the 4 hourly, if you go here, you will notice we're back into that range on the hourly. Now, if we are able to break above here, 25,905, as I said before in the Discord, I'm expecting us to have a run up to 26.6 maybe, or 26. I'll tell you the levels exactly. Hey Marcus, welcome to the stream. It's been a while, brother. I hope you're doing well. We're just taking a look at a few things in the charts, this crazy move. That I kind of said something on the Discord yesterday that we could expect a run-up. We had not much of movement on Bitcoin, but we had a run-up on a rundown on the traditional markets. Nasdaq, S&P, we had somewhat of a rundown. We had a dump. But I was expecting today to be a pump because I was saying the DXY, the dollar index on the daily time frame, it is a bit too overextended in my opinion to the upside, but I said it could continue higher. But we are at resistance. We are at a level where we got a spike before and pulled down all the way down. We came down to 99. If we are able to break this, then our next levels for the dollar is a 106, but we would have some resistance over here, 105.2. If the dollar continues its move up with force, it's going to bring the market down. But the dollar has been holding. The Nasdaq had a dump and now it's trying to pull up. We are exactly in the middle of the Bollinger Band for the Nasdaq. You can see we hit it exactly. So that's telling me that probably this was just a fake out to the downside and we're forming the candy cane pattern, which a lot of times goes this way, and then we start having our move up. That could happen. But as you all know, my macro view for the market is that the dump isn't over. I'm expecting another low. I don't think so we could break this high this year. Not we could. I'm not saying we could or we couldn't. But in my opinion, I don't think so it's happening this year. Because we are at a level of resistance. I believe we are at the 0.786 from the all-time high for Nasdaq to the low over here. We are at the 0.786. 15,429 is a 0.786. Yeah, so I'm not expecting much from the Nasdaq. I'm expecting a dump. We could have another spike up, is also possible. It could go up and almost form equal tops, or form, you see here you had a small double top. You could have another double top over here. And how would that look? I'll show you how it would look. It could just simply look like this. We're here, we're down here, and we start going up, and we could retrace to the 0.786 of this high. So if you come here and say this low is done, we could come and retrace to the 0.786, which would take us to 15,532 over here, spike up and continue lower. Then we had formed a big double top. The measured move for this double top, if that's how it's going to be, it's going to take us all the way down. If we break, it will take a while, mind you, this is on the daily. We could come down again to the 13,000 range. That's a bloody long, a really good short, excuse my language. Okay, back to this chart of Bitcoin where I have my Fibonacci channels. I'm going to show you what I think next level of support for Bitcoin. If and when we start dumping, I have to show you this because it may not happen today, we might spike up. But this support line on the daily, 24,814, and it moves up slowly. If it happens, say within, Bitcoin goes sideways and hits it over here, it will be 25,855. So if Bitcoin continues sideways, if it does that, which I doubt, I think we're going to have over here you can see we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 10 days to have a move. Over here we're just 6 days in, 7 days in. We could have another 3 days. It could be the same. The last time we had a move up, it was Monday. Tuesday we had a spike, we came down, and now we're on Thursday. On Thursday we reversed, and now 1 week later we're back on Thursday. Usually on Thursdays the markets like to reverse and squeeze the people who are on the opposite side of the trades, who've been holding on to their positions religiously and don't want to let go. That's why I say if you want to trade, you need to lock your profits. You need to move your stops into profits or breaking even. You could blow up so many accounts. I have blown up a lot of accounts several times. I mean, it happens. You need to learn. Sometimes you need to learn the hard way. Now EMA 15 minutes is showing me it's a long for Bitcoin, and we are moving up. Now I want to look at, I've looked at Bitcoin, Ethereum, the VIX. Whoa, look at that candle on the VIX. Okay, it was zoomed in. We had a gap up, we're coming down. The VIX, when the VIX starts moving up and breaking levels, say it breaks 15 and starts moving about 16, 18, then we're in a dump phase. That means there are more shorts on the S&P 500 than longs. People are predicting short rather than long. VIX. Now, one more thing I wanted to look at. One of the things I wanted to look at is Apple. I was thinking of longing Apple because we gapped down on Apple today, and we might come up and fill the gap. It is possible. 181 is the next target for Apple, and we are extended. I are extended over here, but we also have gaps to the downside on Apple. I believe we have a gap here, 146. Bollinger Band, Apple is opening. Well, we haven't opened and closed. Apple has more room to the downside. 170 is possible. You see what happens when Apple opens below the level of the Bollinger Band. Sometimes it has a continuation lower. Over here, we gapped down and we had a continuation for a few days. Over here, we gapped down over here, spiked up in 2 days and continued lower. So be careful with Apple. The move up could be running out of gas, though there's a lot of bullish news from companies that deal with AI. Yeah, so Ethereum, this lower Bollinger Band doesn't look very bullish. It's not yet curved to the upside. MACD, let's look at the MACD. MACD for Ethereum. We have a crossover and we need momentum to push this up. As long as there's no volume, we need momentum to help us move up. You see the volume on the red candle, that was a big volume. Yeah, and when you look at it like this, you see 12.15 is not that far away for Ethereum. But the way I would trade it, if I were to trade it, I would wait for a retrace into resistance and see how we react over here, or into as today we hit the 200 EMA very close on the hourly. You could wait for more confirmation. 15 minutes, it could still move up, very possible. If you take the fixed range volume profile for this range that we're in at the moment, and you look at it and try to figure out where we are bouncing off the value area low for this fixed range volume profile. Our POC, we are above it. Value area high is where we wicked, 1676. It is a possibility, because when you bounce from one value area, you go to the next one. You bounced here, you bounced off, you came back to the POC, you came back to the value area low, you bounced to the POC, you got rejected once, then you bounced again, you're over it now, you're above it on the 4 hourly. If you're able to close here, you could have a run up to the next fixed range volume profile. That's why I like using fixed range volume profiles. Charts do respect it. You have some deviations, but you have relatively a good idea. So I'll show you that on Bitcoin. When I go to Bitcoin and on the daily time frame, I'm going to show you where we are on fixed range volume profile and why are we stuck here. We are in the value area high of this fixed range volume profile from June 2022 all the way to today. We are just stuck. Look at this. We're bouncing off the fixed range volume profile value area high of this entire range. Now if we bounce, what am I going to look at? I'm going to trade the next value area, the fixed range volume profile for the upper range, which I need to update. Let me just stretch it. There you go. Value area low. Okay, my value area low of this whole upper range is where we are now. Look, this bottom blue line. Now if we bounce, I'll be looking at starters, my POC at around 28k. Obviously I have other things like the VWAP at 26,832. I also have fixed volume profile of May 2022. Why is it important? Because we respected it, and even if you look right over here, we were ranging around it, we were respecting it. I do that also for Ethereum. Now going back into, let's look at Solana. Solana is still in danger. I'm telling you, Solana could go to much lower levels. I still have the $5 to $7 and $8 to $9 range over here, down here. As long as we're below the 20.750, Solana is bearish. And if we come up, I'm looking at the 22.8 to 23.6 as a possible zone of rejection. I'm not a perma bear, but the markets are showing me that you can make more by shorting. Well, you get those spikes on crazy coins like Wildcoin yesterday. It went up almost 100%. I shorted it when it was up 80%, got stopped out, attempted another short. Unfortunately, I got stopped out again. But if you go to Wildcoin now, and if you entered where I got stopped out yesterday, I didn't re-enter, you would see it was a good trade. I'll show you where it is now. I traded Wildcoin at around 1.31. That was the level of Wildcoin. 1.31, where is it? I believe it's trading at much lower levels. Anyways, you can take a look at it on your own time. Let's get back to the other coins. Litecoin, remember I said $24 is in the cards. I still have $24 in the cards at the moment. It looks like it's holding, but when you look at it like this, does this look bullish at all? I mean, you could spike up and everyone will be screaming again, yeah, bull run. You will just come to recover these candles. This is an insufficiency. You'll just come and recover it. It is only natural that it does it. You also have this wick down here that you could come and recover, $54. Now, I believe we could come to these lows or even break them for Litecoin. I believe I said $27. You need to rewatch my video. Why was I saying $27? Let's see. How did I mark it out? I'm not very sure how I labeled it. I don't always keep my drawings, but if you go in the macro, maybe I took the Elliott wave count. Let's see, and maybe it was a 1.618. Let's give it a try. From the top over here to the bottom, we had a spike up. Didn't work. From here, the beginning of the third wave to the end of the third wave, and let's assume this is now a fourth wave that could come up to 75. The one-to-one could take you to $26. I did this just roughly. I don't want to get into details. I'm trying to keep it short. BNB also not looking that good. It's in a danger zone. This is BNB is at below December 2022 levels. So if you want to speak in Bitcoin language and see where BNB is, let's go to December 2022. BNB is below December 2022 levels. That means BNB Bitcoin would be below 15,400. You see this? This is where BNB is. BNB has broken this. BNB broke its 2022 lows. BNB is making new lows. There. Look at that. BNB has new lows for 2022. 2022, 2023. Okay, May was lower. Okay, my mistake. May was lower, but BNB broke December 2022. That means things are not looking good for it. I mean, it went back to the lows of December 2022. Essentially, the move of the entire 2023 that it's been doing for months now has been wiped out by BNB from April until September. It took it 5 months to come down. It took it 4 months to go up. So what I'm expecting next, to keep it short, to let you understand what I'm trying to say here. I believe we're still going to go down, but the dollar is at resistance, and that means the dollar is due a pullback. But the dollar can have a run-up. But if the dollar is at resistance, a possible move for the dollar, it could make one more pullback, form an inverse head and shoulders over here, then make a breakout with a measured move that you could measure from 105 to 99. That's about $6. The next level would be 111. Works perfectly with my levels over here. So between now and then, really, the dollar could play us around here. It could pull back, give the market a rally into the FOMC meeting that we're going to be having this month. I believe, I'm not sure, is it towards the end of the month? But we could have a run up for the markets. Maybe a slight run up, but I don't believe, the thing is, I don't believe this is the end. We are going to have the dump, because every single time I shorted it and I was overextended to the downside, and I still believed that we were no way going up there. Look at that, we broke it. Over here, I think I was doing the same thing. Stopped out in profit, but look, we ripped it up. Now, if we are going to do the same thing, unfortunately here, if you look at this one, we came down 0.5% fib. I showed you that before. Fixed range Fibonacci retracement from the low to the peak, almost 0.5 exactly. We came slightly lower, but 0.5. And then the next move from the low over here to the peak, again 0.5 Fibonacci. And one of the times we went up around 59%, the other time we went around 28%. Now if we say this is the second time we're going to do it, so I'm going to take this from this low, and I'm not going to count this high as the high. I'll say this was the high. So I'll say this was a high. 0.5% is where we are exactly. So we did it once here. We did two small tops here, one top and a higher top, and came back 50% retracement. And now we're doing it again. Small top and a higher top, 50% retracement. Now, the question is, after we do that, are we going to repeat this over here, or are the algorithms just going to play us? Because if you look over here, if you look over here and you look at the measured move after doing this, it was around 59%, I believe. There, 58.9. Now, at the moment, we are at the 50% retracement. So it's a coincidence. I don't believe things happen randomly or coincidence. Now, sorry, not from here. Now it came down 50%. And I'm going to measure from here another 50% up. Let's say 55 to be modest. 55% will bring us to 39K. 34 to 35K, we have a gap, and that's around 39 to 40%. Are we going to go up there? That's another way of looking at things. I'm just giving you things to think about. My opinion, we might have a push up, then a continuation. We might do something like this. I see something being formed. We could do this. Head and shoulders with a big breakdown, 31.9, 31.8, and the neckline would be somewhere around here, 24.4. So that's about another 7K drop. From 24, you go down 7K, that's 17K. Maybe you came down to the 20K region and filled that CME gap. Or you go down to 17K and you form a higher low, then you have a run up. We are having some divergences in the chart. I mean, if you look at the chart and look for RSI, and you look at the RSI, and let's go to the Binance chart because it's less messy. It's messy, but not as messy as that one. Line chart, and you can clearly see, okay, we're forming lower lows, no bullish divvy, but from here, we've been forming higher lows over here, then we got to push up. Lower low, higher low, we got to push up. The question is, on the weekly, how are we going to do it? Are we going to close higher than this on the weekly? The candle, will it close higher than 25,917 and give us big, and this closes lower, big, what they call hidden bullish divergence? Let's go to the daily. On the daily time frame, you had bearish div over here, hidden bearish div, lower highs on the price action and higher highs on the RSI. At the moment, you have lower lows on the daily, higher lows. That is bullish divergence on the daily. It should be confirmed. I mean, you've been doing that for days. 18th August till today. That's a lot of days. Yeah? So that's, I need to be fair, not look at it the bearish lens. You could have a run up. You have a lot of bullish divergence from 18 August. You've been just forming, to be fair, over here till here and here. Then you got the spike up. Now from here to here, you are forming lower lows and higher lows again. You're getting that push up. You confirmed it yesterday. You're getting that push up now. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit your notifications, join the free Discord. We're trying to get it active, but it's a bit slow. I do post some trade ideas every now and then. We have a channel dedicated to that in the Discord. In addition, you could support the channel with a link in the channel description, which would take you to PayPal. Any coins you want to look at, just throw them out there. Otherwise, I could end the stream. Yeah, because I think I've gone through most of the things I wanted to say. The thing is, I was saying, now I know where I got that $26 for Litecoin. I was saying every time we have a halving, we drop about 70 something percent. Now, we had the halving here marked out, and we've been dumping ever since. And if we go down, I can't remember, was it 76%, 78%, somewhere around here, 70 something, maybe 76. It would take you down to the $25 to $27. I averaged out the last halvings, the last two halvings, and I said, okay, we could drop this much, maybe 70%, and that could take you to $27 for Litecoin. If you look at it, we are halfway there. We were at 94, we are to 94 to 26, that's around $60. We dropped from 94 to 62, that's $30. You are halfway there. It's not too far away. This was the last halving we had on Litecoin, and yeah, we dropped on this candle. We dropped initially 66%. We had about 100% rally, then we dropped a total of 76. This small rally over here was maybe 50%, I'm not sure. 136%. So Litecoin might just drop 66%, give us a huge pump, and drop another 20 to 30%. Yeah? Yeah, so that's for Litecoin. That's my view on the whole market. Tomorrow is the last day of the week, on the trading week. I hope you enjoyed the update. Just keep an eye on the Nasdaq and the dollar index, just to know your bearings, where you're heading. At the moment, Nasdaq is forming a candy cane, but I also, a lot of times I say, despite us forming a candy cane, you need to look left. What is after that? What is before that? We came almost exactly to the 0.786. That would tell me we could be forming a double top to flush us down on the Nasdaq. Yeah? So on the daily, no divergences. On the weekly, can't see much of divergences. Alright, I'm gonna cut it short. Thanks for passing by. More trades. I'll see you in the next one.